Hey everyone, Cole here with trainwithcole.com, and I wanted to make up the second fault video to a video I made a few days ago where I talked about making adjustments to training and nutrition based on what your goal is and how your progress is going. The other day I made a fault video about how to make nutritional changes and some things to consider. So I'm going to do the same thing now with training. And so there's four things to consider when you're thinking about adjusting your training and the kind of exercise you're doing based on what kind of results you're getting, what your goals are, the rate of your results, if you're on a certain timetable, or if you feel like you could do things more optimally. So here are four things and a couple key points about them that I think you should always consider before making a program change, right? Because we don't want to be program hoppers. I firmly believe you need at least a solid 4 to 6 weeks to really see how you're going to respond to a program. Sometimes it can take a little less, but again, I find people jump ship way too fast, and we don't want to do that. So here's the things to consider. Number one, review intensity. How hard is your training? Are you being intense? When you train, are you constantly pushing yourself? Understand that intensity is a relative term. It's not a destination that you reach. Your capacity to increase intensity will continually rise. However, there is probably an eventual ceiling as it relates to your central nervous system. But I find that a lot of people really, frankly, are not being as intense as they could be in the gym, shortchanging their workouts. It's not necessarily that the quality of their workout is bad in terms of what's on paper and the plan, but it's just the follow through and the execution. You've got to stress the body to make it change. I think intensity is really, if you boil it down, the most important factor to how effective an exercise program is going to be in terms of results, especially if you are desiring to grow new muscle tissue or to lose body fat. I think intensity is absolutely king. So you got to review that. Could you make your exercise more optimal by way of intensity? So that's point number one. Number two, after you have your intensity set and in place, I then believe you should review your frequency. Could you train more often? If you're a standard guy who's looking to put on more muscle tissue and you find that you're doing the classic one body part per day, such as arms, chest, shoulders, back, and then legs. You're only hitting each body part one time a week there. Could you hit hit every body part more frequently, maybe 2 times a week? Could you handle that from an intensity standpoint? Would you be able to recover from a Monday chest workout, for example, to then train chest again on Thursday, and so feel like you could still be intense and have good quality workouts? Once you determine that, however, then that would, I think, lead naturally into point number three, which is review the volume you're doing or the amount of exercise you're doing per exercise bout. Could you do more? I find most of the time the answer is yes. Even when frequency and intensity are adequate, I think most people could handle a higher workload. Now, that in a roundabout way, more volume can be a way that you increase intensity because you are doing more work. So you do have to make sure that it fits into your current cycle of intensity that you're doing. However, I do find that in general, if people really want to see drastic changes, you have to be willing to put in a lot of work. And I think volume, more people can handle it. So review, could you do more exercise? Not necessarily absurd amounts. I mean, if you're doing 5 sets of chest, for example, you go to 20. Maybe it means if you're doing 10, you do 14 or something like that, and see how does the body respond to that. Then after you've reviewed intensity, reviewed frequency, reviewed volume, you then absolutely need to review your recovery. Do you rest enough? Are you giving the body the ability to recover from the workouts you do? Your body does not change, especially from a muscle growth standpoint, in the gym. You grow outside of the gym. You recover to be able to do more and better and more efficient optimal exercise outside of the gym. You don't change while you're actually doing the training. It is the days and weeks and months and years in tandem with the training that cause you to change, and you need to make sure that you are resting and recovering for training bouts. So those are the 4 things you need to consider before you change your training. I do believe every single one of them relates to the other. I do think intensity is king, then followed by frequency, then followed by volume. Those are actually, those could be kind of interchangeable to some degrees, and then recovery as well. That's just because I mentioned recovery last. I do not believe that is the last factor at all. In fact, probably after intensity, you should be able to determine can you recover from the intensity that you are doing. Anyway, those are the 4 points I think everyone should consider when before changing an exercise program. Um, Comment below, tell me what you think. How do you change your exercise program? What are the things you review? Is there something that I missed that you feel like is vitally important? If so, I want to hear it. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic day.